Ever feel like your handwriting is kind of holding you back? Whether it's for a big exam, a personal journal, or just, the satisfaction of a nicely written note, we're going to break down a really simple, actionable plan to improve your script. And let's start with why it matters more than you probably think.
And let's just start with this. It's pretty wild. An exam paper checker revealed this incredible fact. For the exact same answers, word for word, clearer handwriting can be the difference maker. Yeah, you heard that right. So it's not just about being neat. It's about clear communication that actually gets rewarded.
So, where do we even begin? Well, believe it or not, it's not with the alphabet. Great handwriting is built on a solid foundation of your posture and your tools, long before your pen ever hits the page. Okay, this might seem super basic, but this is where most of us trip up right from the get-go. The goal is what you could call a zero-strain position. Your feet should be flat on the floor, shoulders relaxed, and your arms supported by the table. This isn't just about being comfortable. It actually cuts down on fatigue so you can write for way longer without getting all tense and sloppy. Next up, the paper itself. Angling it at about 45 degrees is a total game changer. Seriously, it lets you see what you're writing without having to curl your arm into that awkward hooked position. This one simple tweak opens up your arm's whole range of motion for a much, much smoother flow. Ah, the classic death grip. This is probably the single most common mistake out there. When you tense up and squeeze the pen like your life depends on it, you're forcing these tiny little muscles in your fingers to do all the work. The problem is, those small muscles get tired, like really fast, which leads to cramps and, you guessed it, messy writing. The goal is a relaxed grip, where the pen is just resting, letting the big, powerful muscles in your arm do the heavy lifting. And finally, your tool. Look, forget about those super fancy, expensive pens. The best pen for you is one that just feels comfortable. You're looking for something that's kind of thick, pretty lightweight, and balanced, with ink that flows nice and smooth. A good pen makes writing feel effortless. A bad one makes it feel like a fight. All right, with the foundation all set, it's time to play detective with your own handwriting. Because to fix it, you first have to understand exactly what's going on. So go ahead and grab a piece of your own handwriting, like right now if you can. We're going to check it against the 5 most common mistakes that educators like Prashant Kirad see after looking at thousands of samples. Ready? Okay, got your writing in front of you? Let's do this. First, look at the gaps between your words. Are they pretty consistent or kind of all over the map? Next, size. Are your letters cramped and tiny or are they huge and taking over the page? Third, thickness. Are you pressing down so hard that the letters look heavy, maybe even smudged together? Fourth, the tilt. Does your writing lean in one consistent direction, or is it a bit chaotic, sometimes leaning different ways in the same word? And last, are there 1 or 2 problem letters that just always look messy for you? Come on, be honest. Figuring out the problem is half the battle. When you boil it all down, all these little mistakes really point to this one big difference. Writing that feels tight and cramped is what happens when you draw letters with just your fingers. Writing that looks relaxed, free, and easy, that comes from using your whole arm. And making that shift is the whole point. So, you know your setup, and you've diagnosed the issues. Now for the fun part, the fix. This is a simple 3-step daily practice that's all about building new habits and muscle memory. The routine is incredibly simple, and it's all about building that consistency. We'll start with a quick warm-up to get your brain and hand talking to each other. Then we'll move to some basic drills to build consistent shapes, and we'll finish with a really clever technique called air writing that you can do literally anywhere. Let's start with the warm-up. You wouldn't just sprint without stretching, would you? It's the exact same idea here. For just 30 seconds before you write, that's it, do some simple exercises. Roll your shoulders, play an imaginary piano on the table, or just scribble some quick lines and circles on a scrap piece of paper. This wakes up that brain-hand connection and makes your first few sentences as smooth as your last. Next up, drills. See, every single letter you write is just a combination of a few basic strokes, so spend a couple of minutes practicing those core building blocks: parallel vertical lines, consistent slants, and smooth circles. This isn't about writing perfect words just yet. This is pure muscle memory training. It's like going to the gym for your handwriting, teaching your arm to make those shapes automatically. And as you're doing these drills, this is the one thing you have to remember. The goal is to move your entire arm from the shoulder, letting your wrist and fingers just guide the pen along for the ride.
And use light pressure. You're not trying to carve the words into the page. A light touch creates cleaner lines and keeps you from getting tired. Okay, now for the secret weapon, air writing. This is a technique you can use anytime, anywhere, no paper, no pen needed. When you're waiting in line or just sitting around, use your finger to write words in the air. Yeah, it might feel a little silly at first, but trust me, it powerfully reinforces that muscle memory, helping improve both your letter shapes and your writing speed.
So, we've covered all the mechanics, your setup, your diagnosis, and your practice routine. But before we finish up, there is one last really crucial point. All this work isn't about turning you into some kind of writing robot.
This quote just hits the nail on the head. It's so important because the point of all this isn't to erase your personality from your handwriting and copy someone else's. It's about taking your unique style and just making it clearer, more consistent, and more confident. So as you practice, think about this. Your handwriting is a part of you. It's like your voice or your laugh. It's a form of personal expression. So the real question isn't just, how can I make it neater, but maybe, what do I want my handwriting to say about me?